Hey there, this is Kurt Hollowell with Dog Eat Dog Games, and I'm here for the last entry in the Dream Build Play Diary competition. And today I just want to talk about how to upload your mixed reality UWP app to the Windows Store. So if you just type in for Google Windows Dev Center, it's a good place to get started. Click there and go to Submit Your App. And from here, you can create a new app and start the upload process. Fairly easy and straightforward from this site. But let's go ahead and look at the settings that you need to do in Unity and Visual Studio to actually have your mixed reality app appear in the store and pass the WAC test and all the tests. It took me a few days of just trial and error, searching things online to figure out what actually worked and what didn't. So hopefully this tutorial can save you some time there. So once you are completely ready to build your app for mixed reality, go ahead and go to your build settings. Make sure you're on UWP, and these are the build settings that worked for me. Any device, D3D, the latest SDK, build and run on local machine. One thing you definitely need is this Unity C# projects. I tried building without that, and it didn't work. It passed it failed some of their tests. So make sure you have this Unity C# projects checked. Other things to look at are in your player settings. There are a bunch of icons and package names and stuff like that you can set up from inside Visual Studio, but it's a little easier to just do it from inside Unity, in my opinion. So make sure you set up your company name, the product name, and go under publishings because there's a package name, and under here there is a there's like a short package name somewhere too. Other settings, and one of these you can set up all your icons. Here under icon there's a short name, so for your icon you can have a little name that appears on the icons as well. And all of these different Windows tiles, try and get all these different resolutions for icons. There's a ton of them, so I know we all love exporting the same image out 100 times in a bunch of different ratios, but something you got to do. All the asset stores want you to do it, so take some time to export your logo out to all these different resolutions so it looks good on all these different devices. But that's the main thing from Unity. Make sure this flag is checked. Make sure you've named everything. Make sure you've given it an icon. Then just go ahead and hit build. What you'll do is you'll choose an empty folder. I called mine, I have a builds folder. Another important thing to note is that place your build folder outside of your project folder. So if you have a project folder, the reason for that is if you use Git or source control. Git has a 100 megabyte file upload limitation, so if you create your builds file inside your project folder, then a lot of the builds are going to be over that file size of 100 megabytes, and you won't be able to upload your commit to Git. So maybe other source controls don't have that limitation, but if you're using Git, make sure to place your builds folder outside of your project folder. Then you just create a new folder, name it whatever you want, hit build, and you will get a solution will be generated for you. So you're going to go in there and open up your solution. I already have mine open, and you should get something like this. We have assembly C#, a couple packages under the solution, and we have the name of your app, in my case Beat Planet Madness. So a few settings that you have to have are master. For a long time I didn't realize what the difference in all these were. Debug is, of course, if you're building a release for debugging. Release allows you to, it's kind of a little bit of a step further. You can install the application, but it still allows debugging through Visual Studio. Master means there's no debugging. It's for the final release version of the app. So once you've try to just build it and run it through release, if you aren't getting any bugs, then go ahead and when you're ready to upload to the store, make sure you've selected master. Also select x86 here. For mixed reality, you have to do that. So it doesn't work under 86 or ARM, at least not on my machine. Then what you're going to go ahead and do is go right click the name of your project, and you're going to go to store. And the first thing you want to do is associate your app with the store. So if you've go ahead and created an app, given it a name, started to fill out some of these things, I would go ahead and do that first. You can see, I'll just go ahead and click on here so you can see the different things you have to do. Let me just click one level deeper. So you set things like pricing, you set up ratings. Here's where you'll actually upload the package. You can add in screenshots and stuff like that. So make sure you go through as much of this as you can as possible. And then go into Visual Studio, Master 86. You're going to go to Store, associate your app with the store. And if you're signed in Visual Studio with the same name as your Microsoft account, then it should just show up. You'll go to Next, and it should, you can see here's my Microsoft account name. You should be able to see it, find your package. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel because I don't want to do this for real right now. I've already done it. So after you associate the app, then you're going to create app packages. Now, if you associated the app, this will appear on top. Say, yes, we want to build the package as this game on the store. Let's go ahead and hit next. Now, one thing that messed me up is this version number. So this has to be version 1000. If you have anything other than that, like for example, I used to have a 1 here. I realized, well, that's a setting inside of Unity. So if you open up Unity, again, under your player settings, publishing settings, here's a version number. So make sure that version number is 1.0.0.0. Build it, open up the solution. Otherwise, you're going to fail some tests when trying to upload to the store. Also, uncheck, there's this automatically increment. Uncheck that because, again, this has to be 1000. And if you have this checked, every time you build, it'll increment this version number. Now, if you look online, it'll tell you to build for all 3 architectures, 32-bit, 64-bit, and ARM. But for mixed reality apps, you have to build just for x86. Again, this is just what I found, what's worked for me. I've tried a bunch of different ways, and they didn't work. They didn't pass tests. They didn't pass certification, the WAC. So this is the only way I was able to get it to work. So make sure you only check x86. Then go ahead and create. And what that will do is create these app packages for you. So in your build folder, you should have a folder that gets created with the name of your project. And then you'll see this little app packages folder. So you go in there and you can see these packages that get created. And once you're done creating the package, it'll actually go ahead and do a test, and you can say click yes and go through these tests and make sure it passes all of them. I just wanted to make sure to show everybody all the settings that you needed to work for mixed reality and to upload it to the store correctly. Let's go back. So once you've done that, you'll get this AppX upload folder, and that's the file that you will use to upload to the store inside the Dev Center on your package name. Just want to go back a step so you see everything. Click on your package, and then if you haven't had a submission, you can create a new one, but I'll just go look at an old submission so you can see. And then you go to packages, and there'll be a little section for you to drag and drop that AppXload package in. I have already uploaded mine here, but you should see something at the top here that just says browse your folder and find this AppX upload package. I'll show you one more resource, and then we'll call it the end of the tutorial. This website I found really helpful. Docs.microsoft.com. I mean, I'll post this link in the text below, so you don't have to just type it all out. But this tells you everything about these different types of app bundles, what they're used for, how it wants you to test and optimize and configure your app and go through all of that. But some of the things you'll notice here contradict what actually works. So in this case, it tells you to select all 3 architectures, but that doesn't work for mixed reality. So don't do it. Anyways, I hope this helps, and good luck if you're entering the competition. And hit me up on Facebook or social media, just www.facebook.com/doggydoggames, or if you go to my website, doggydoggames.com, you can go to the contact page and hit me up. Happy to help with any questions you have. Happy coding. See you later.